Hello, welcome to the Run to Remember podcast. This is your host, Kristen Fairs, joined alongside race director Carrie Watkins. This episode, you'll hear from Oklahoma coaching great Sherry Cole. Tana Cashin is here from Devon Energy, the Memorial Marathon's presenting sponsor, and News 9 anchor Robin Marsh shares why she looks forward to race morning. The 2025 OKC Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 25th through the 27th. Visit okcmarathon.com to sign up to run, walk, or volunteer. All right, Carrie, I'm not trying to scare you, but we are 21 days out.
I know. Thanks for reminding us. Here's the issue. We're starting to be very tight on the races. So if you know someone who wants to run, or if you want to run, do not wait.
Don't wait.
The caps are the caps.
Okay.
The shirts, the medals, they're all here. We can't really go over our mark. And so get registered if you want to be in, because we're in a couple of races, we're down to 20 to 30 people. I mean, it's going to be tight.
And that's going to make for a really great race weekend.
That's right.
To have the streets of OKC so
Packed.
full, so
Yeah.
many people wanting to run, and to just truly remember why we're here. We're at 30 years of the bombing, and
Right.
there's a lot leading up to the week as well. So let's talk about kind of what leads up to the race week.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an intense time. We're just in the throes of it, but we have just today we're kind of opening a new gateway to downtown Oklahoma City. It's been there for 30 years. This ugly bridge as you come off 6th Street in Harrison, and we've never loved it. We've always wanted it, and the city stepped up with us in downtown Oklahoma City, and it's our gift back to the city, and it's a new light. We've illuminated this gateway, and so you'll see the huge bronze OKC letters, and as you come under the bridge, it says "Be the Light," and that's kind of our mission that you've heard us say over the last 6 or 8 weeks. Just about, it's up to us to go be the good, to be the kindness, and so that's big today. And then we're rededicating the Heartland Chapel, which is an interfaith chapel across the street, which was built by the Islamic, the Jewish, and the Christian communities as a symbol of peace in 1995. Having no clue what we'd look like in 2025.
We
and
need peace now.
Yeah, and so that's big. And then President Clinton has said he will be here with the families and survivors on the 30th, which, is incredibly heartwarming for them. And politics aside, for everyone who has gotten amped up either way about it, he was here, had no reason to have to come, didn't win one county in Oklahoma, but he was here and has been here 8 times. I think this will be his 8th trip back. And left a lot of money in Oklahoma City for us to rebuild with federal economic dollars, and we've done that. And so I think for him, it's as he gets in this, as he calls it, his 4th quarter, he wants to make sure he's kind of put the dots on everything. And I personally am really grateful for his leadership, and I know the families and survivors are too. So
And so he'll be speaking at
he's the keynote on April 19th. Yep.
The
And
April
so
19th.
that's open. Tickets aren't required, and it's just a community event where people can come to remember, and that's really why we run, is we run to remember. So that is what this race is all about.
Right. And then also on April 19th, there's free admission to the
Museum. It is,
which
thanks
is
to
just
Cox.
a great time to go and check out and be reminded of the story of why we're here and why we have this race in the first place. And
True.
then also every registered runner gets a free
They
ticket
do.
to
They do.
the museum.
So there's
as
no
well.
reason not to learn the story or
Yeah.
see the story this
Yeah,
30th
and just
year.
know the importance of why we run, because
Right.
really that makes the day even more meaningful.
That's
when
right.
when you realize why you're there.
Yeah.
So
And
it'll
you-
be a memorable weekend for sure.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more of this next week, but we have some incredible legends coming, some new, some old, and we'll focus on that a little bit next week, but you'll get to meet a whole bunch of great folks.
Yeah.
Expo.
It'll be fun. And speaking of fun, we have got some fun of our own. We're going to mix some March Madness with the Memorial Marathon, and we've got Oklahoma's own basketball legend, Sherry Cole, joining us today. Sherry, we are so glad you're here. We're glad we got you here during March Madness, too, because this is an exciting time for Oklahoma and OU in particular, the OU women's team.
It's an exciting time for sure. College basketball, and especially for women's sports right now, at an all-time high. Attendance is fantastic. Enthusiasm is awesome. And women's sports at Oklahoma, across the board, whatever sport you love.
Incredible.
Right.
Really great time to be
Our
involved.
little friends at the football team could learn a few things from the women's sports, right? I could say that, but you couldn't. You know what? I love seeing you on the sidelines, and you still there to cheer them on, and still your team. But I love that you're still into OU basketball.
Well, I always will be.
Yeah.
So much of my blood, sweat, and tears
Your whole
are
life.
in the formation of
Right.
that program. Yeah, a quarter of a century is a long time, and it's just rewarding to see a foundation strong enough to hold and
building.
to endure through the years and to lift to higher levels. And Jenny's done a fantastic job. I'm so proud of. I have to give a shout out to Skylar, Liz, and Tot. Those are 3 kids that played for me before I stepped away, and so they're getting to experience this, and I'm very happy.
Kind of
for
raised them.
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
And you're never finished with that, by the way.
No kidding. We all know that.
And so you're also running the half marathon again. You've run before. Tell us about your running story and why you run.
Well, let's use the word running judiciously here.
No, I'm not going to use it judiciously because if you're signed up for the half and you start and finish, you're a runner.
Well, my daughter-in-law and I decided to do it after my first grandchild, her daughter, was born. And our only goal was to not walk. We didn't care how fast we ran it. We just didn't want to walk. And we didn't. And I think it was around 2 hours is what it took us. And
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Around
She's-
2 hours.
She's kind of a competitor.
well, and my daughter played for me. She was point guard
That's
for
right.
me, which is ironic. She hated to run. I still don't enjoy running, but I do it every day.
And you made them run a lot.
I did make
Yeah.
them run a lot.
It's the beauty of basketball coaches.
Feel guilty about that
know you
sometimes
don't.
today, but not too much. But no, so we have a second granddaughter now, and she was born in August, and so we decided we would do it again. Every grandchild a half marathon.
Gosh.
Tradition.
Here we go.
It's a tradition. What makes you choose the half marathon?
Well, because I can't do the full one. That would be the first thing. But I was coaching at Norman High School when the bombing occurred. I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly what happened throughout that day. I remember picking up my son at daycare. It's so vivid to me still. And it was very emotional running it the first time. And it will be again. I'm emotional as I talk about it because we all know someone who lost someone. And that makes that gives you adrenaline and gets you going. And then the people that line the streets, the fun neighborhoods that you run through, the guys handing out bacon, for heaven's sake. I wanted to get my hands on that bacon. I was afraid if I stopped and got it, I wouldn't get going again. So
You would have to walk.
I didn't partake, but it's just you feel enveloped by the spirit of this community and the state when you're a part of it.
Oh, that's for
What,
sure.
as you go through these neighborhoods, what's your favorite thing that you see? When you talk about the bacon, just the spirit of the people or
Yeah.
the vodka or what is it?
The spirit, not the vodka, the spirit and the enthusiasm of the people. And also, every neighborhood sort of has its own personality, which I found very interesting. And it's distracting, which is great for those of
Right.
us who aren't serious about trying to make a time. And we're just trying to breathe. You don't have to think about breathing for a little bit because you're watching people in their driveway hand out mimosas or whatever. They have blow up dolls and the whole deal. And you talked about the bridge a little bit. I loved running under the bridge. It was just this, people are yelling and
Yeah, you
it's
hear the echoes.
echoing and then you pop out to the light. It's just, it's really a neat thing. And I love that the changes have happened there.
Yeah. That was such an important change, and I think as you look at it, I had an email from a runner from out of state and said, what I love most about your race is you get the feel for your city running through these different neighborhoods and the different variety of people. And he goes, you don't see that in every city, which I thought was, that's exactly what we want people to feel.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you don't see that in other places. Because it's the only one I've ever done.
Yeah.
But that was what struck me.
Yeah, I think you do in some, but I do think for us it was important to make sure people felt a little bit of everyone as they ran our course. And
Yeah.
so
I think it's unique to BC in
Yeah.
a way, yeah. So how's your training going? We have 21 days.
That you
20,
said,
22.
you said earlier, I don't want to scare you, and I was thinking, scare her. That's scaring me. 21 days. It's not great. I'm just going to tell you, it's not been great. The wind, when we had the 3 days of 60-mile-an-hour wind, I was fortunate to walk in that, and
that's
so
what treadmills are for.
well, yeah, but it's just different. I can
know.
run a whole lot further on that treadmill than I can outside. But
Yeah.
Well, you've got to practice in the wind.
Yeah,
because
that's
for
true,
sure.
'cause you have it.
For sure.
You might have a windy day on Marathon Sunday.
but
so-
that day of, the adrenaline is so high and you're so excited. And like everything, I ran the open quarter in high school. And, you practice for that, you train for that. Every time I ran it, it was hard. It never got easy. And I felt the same after every single race. It's just one of those things that it'll be tough the day of,
Right.
but it'll be worth it.
You'll get through it.
Yeah.
You're an author. You have a new book out. This is your second book. I'm in the middle of reading it, what great stories. Tell us a little bit about Compost Files.
It's
Not piles, but files.
That's right, not piles. A very important
different.
distinction, that first consonant there. It's a collection of stories that I hope speak to all facets of humanity. And I write observationally. I feel like noticing is something that we go too fast to do anymore. And so this is just a pause, and they're brief little stories that you can read in 5 minutes. If you want to read one, you can read a chapter in probably 10 or 15. And they're just little nuggets of observation, things that unite us all, you know. When I started to try to string the stories together through some sort of thread throughout the book, it's a thread of humanity. And the subtitle of the book is Stories for the Striver in Us All. And I think that's probably a connection dot for whoever might be listening today. If you're going to be a part of this marathon, if you've been a part of reinvigorating this city, and finding a way to both remember and move on, which is not an easy thing to do, then you're a striver. And I know you're a striver. You've been doing this since the very beginning, and we'll have a collection of strivers at that starting gate on marathon morning. So this is just a book for people who are wound like that, who always want to do a little bit better, do a little bit more, feel a little bit deeper, be a little bit more fulfilled, all those things. And it's a joy to write. And so thank you for reading it. And
Oh, it's
I
fun.
appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
look forward to reading it too.
So let's wrap up with some
Okay,
rapid fire questions. Yeah.
What's okay, what's your favorite part of the course? Pick like a neighborhood.
I'm going to be really bad at, is it Washington Heights? Is that what, no, what's it called?
Lincoln
I'm really
Heights.
bad
Lincoln
at the
Terrace.
neighborhoods.
Lincoln Terrace?
Right by the Capitol.
Yeah.
Lincoln Terrace.
Washington Heights. Are we in Washington, D.C.? I don't think so.
You were close.
Yeah, that was my favorite neighborhood, running through there.
Okay, what's your pre-race meal?
I don't think, probably a Cliff Bar and a lot of water.
Okay.
Do you eat meals?
I do eat meals, but typically not that early in the morning before I run.
Okay.
So
Post-race, what are you eating or doing?
everything I can get my hands on is what I'm eating.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting in the hot tub, definitely. We made the mistake last time of crossing the finish line, taking about 5 steps, and then leaning on a golf cart. And then when it was time to walk to the car to meet our family and the baby, we could hardly move. And I'm a coach, for heaven's sake. I should know these things. Keep moving.
Yeah, don't stop.
Yes, and was a track athlete in high school, but no, I will continue to move this time. No stopping.
What's your best running lesson?
Probably that we should do something that we don't want to do every single day. That sounds like such a negative, but throughout
good
my
advice.
life, I have run because I think it's great for my discipline to do something that I don't want to do. I never enjoy it. People say, "Oh, I love running." No, I don't.
Do you enjoy it when you're finished?
I love having run.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't love
Yeah.
running.
I understand that. I understand the not loving it during it, but
Right.
at least as long as you like it when you're
Oh,
done.
for sure. There's a sense of fulfillment that, I mean, you feel good physically. Your body
Sure.
feels good, and endorphins to your brain. You're more creative. You think better. All those things. But there's also that internal thing that says, I can do whatever I need to do. I can do hard things, and that's what running reminds me.
Yeah. Yep.
It's incredible.
It
Well,
is.
thank you so much. You guys will see each other on the half course, hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll be out there.
Let's go.
We got this.
I'll be waiting for you at the finish line with some food.
Some ice cream. Thank you. Through its years-long sponsorship of the Kids Marathon, Integris Health has been instrumental in educating kids on the importance of an active, healthy lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Tim Pearson, President and CEO of Integris Health. The Oklahoma City Marathon brings together people from around the world to honor and remember those who were killed, those who survived, and those whose lives were changed forever by the tragic day in April of 1995. We are proud to be the sponsor of the Kids Marathon. Doing so aligns with Integris Health's mission of partnering with people to live healthier lives. Good luck to all you runners.
Next up, we're going to talk to Tana Cashin, who is the Executive Vice President of Human Resources and Administration at Devon Energy, the Marathon's presenting sponsor. Tana, thanks for being here, and thanks to Devon for all that they do.
So great. You guys have been this kind of a lifelong partner with us, and you've been at Devon for a while.
20 years.
20
Just
years.
about 20 years
That's
this
a
year.
while.
That's a while. And she's only 25, so
That's
it's great.
right.
Yeah, that's
we're
amazing.
22.
We're so grateful for Devon's support and just so many ways that you help the memorial and the marathon. But why is this race important to the people of Devon?
Well, it's a commitment to the city. And I think that it's a commitment to hope and optimism and reflection, and really wanting to be a part of things that are important to Oklahoma City. And I don't know how many more things you could put in a category of importance above and beyond the Memorial Marathon. It's been here, 2 decades, and to have seen it grow and the impact that it has on people and the impact it has on energizing this city and making sure that we remember and we honor, but we also look forward. It's really special.
And you guys have lots of runners, and
We
it's
do.
part of your culture.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I have not run.
Right.
So I can't.
Me neither.
Okay, good. All
We're
right.
on- we're in the
We're
same
on the
boat.
same page.
Yeah.
I'm big at supporting.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we have people who I talked to. In fact, I just talked to somebody yesterday who had surgery on her foot, and she was insistent with her doctor that she was able to get herself healed up enough to at least walk
Wow.
a part of the course. And it's just very important. People have, been a part of it since the very beginning, and we have a lot of long-term employees who have that history. We also have a lot of new people who have just found the experience, and there's a big excitement around it. So it couldn't be a better fit for us.
And I know you say you haven't run it, but you've been a part of
I
the
have.
race in a
Yes,
lot of the ways.
yes.
So
I've
share
done
some
water
of those
stops.
ways.
I've done finish tape lines.
What's
What was
it
that like?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, the first time was very, very stressful. If
is.
you're going
It
to remember
really
this,
is.
we missed the tape for the first finisher for the wheelchair contestant coming through.
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
I know, but it's a memory seared into my brain about how we needed to bring our best and
We
really
changed our whole tracking because of that.
well, and I get why. It was confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And so last year I had the opportunity to be the holder
redo.
again last year, and it was perfect. And I can tell how much you put into all the details and really making it be such a premier event.
Yeah, it was, the wheelchairs moved a lot faster,
Yeah.
and it was just a miss, and we caught it, and they were gracious and gave us a lot of grace about it, but we won't make that mistake again. So, and it's hard for everyone on the ground, and so it's good when someone's forgiving and kind.
Right.
And
I mean, we're human.
yeah, and so, but I'll never forget it, and it did change how we have bike guides and how we bring them in, and we know who's coming, and it's no longer just a, out there. So we're
Well,
grateful that you came back to try again.
And it's something I've always said about the Memorial Marathon too, is that you guys are always looking to make things better. Even when things are great, you're always looking to
That's
improve,
true.
which is why I think people keep coming back and why, it's such a premier event for our city is that,
Yep.
it doesn't grow stale because you're always looking for
Right,
ways to
and you have
improve.
great sponsors who are willing to step up with you and look for ways and help you.
Yeah.
So for the people of Devon, or you're in charge of the culture and the people at Devon, and it's something you guys promote, I know, within to be a part of. But why is that an important factor for your employee base?
Well, first, not just me, it's our whole team, and there's a commitment across the board. It's something that we can engage in a way that we can show our commitment to the city and to be a part of things in a different way. There's all sorts of things that we do across all the communities in which we operate. And we have pillars of giving, and we attempt to be very engaged and strategic with how we participate with our communities. And this event is one that just keeps finding new ways for us to connect. So we've done the water stop. We have been supporters at the finish line. We have lots of employees who are also doing independent things at their homes, and
Right.
I know one employee that has a huge party every year, and she just wouldn't miss it. It's something that's so important to her.
Along the course?
Along the course, yes. And then in 2023, we had a group that started cleaning the 168 chairs. And that has been something that's been another source of connection and pride. And I know that we're going to have a bigger contingent this year doing that. And so we find a lot of ways that it fulfills us, and we hope that it demonstrates our commitment and connection to what this means.
So if you're an HR person from a large or small company that's listening or watching this today, what would be your tip for them to get involved in the
Just
marathon?
find a way. Find a way. There's going to be employees, there's going to be members of your team who want to be there. And so find a way. There's always a water stop. There's always a way to help at the expo. There's always a way to just even know what's going on.
Right.
And
have
throughout
to be
the
100
year.
people.
That's right. It doesn't just have to be around the memorial event,
Right.
marathon event. There's so much programming that you do each year that's impressive and throughout the year. So I would say to just,
Get involved.
get involved, find out what's
Yeah.
there, find out where's your niche, and then find out what works for your employees, and you're gonna find the thing that works for you.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Oklahoma?
I did not. I grew up in California.
And you got here how?
My husband,
Okay.
he's from Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City, and
But now you're an Oklahoman.
yes, I've been here. I had one first stint in the mid-90s, and then have been back more than 20 years now.
Isn't that incredible?
What
So-
do you love about Oklahoma City?
It's
Being
livable.
from outside.
It's
of-
livable. It's someplace that, one, people are kind and considerate, and they're people I want to be around. So that's first and foremost. Second is that it's been a place where I feel great about the company that I work with. Devon is an amazing place, and we all want to be a part of amazing places, and professionally or personally, and that has never stopped giving since I started in 2005 with them. And then I also find from a livability perspective, it's a place where it's easy for a family, and it's not out of reach to own a home and to have great education and to have great commitment and community. So I think when I'm out and about engaging with folks throughout the country, they're surprised at how much passion people from Oklahoma have about how great it is to be here.
Yeah. Chamber needs to sign you up.
I know.
That's
I always
right.
love
You're a good ad.
an outsider's perspective.
too. That's why I
Because,
wanted to know.
I mean, I'm Oklahoma.
It's all we know. We love it,
all we
but
know,
it's
and I
good
love
to
it,
know
but
that that you've left the beauty and the incredible weather of California, but you still
Right,
love it
you
here.
still love it
Absolutely.
here. Yeah. Well, thank
Good.
you. Thank you
Yes.
for all you do and that Devon does. as
Are
a
you holding the
partner.
tape this year?
Yes, I
Great.
think so. I think I am.
Okay,
We're going
good.
to give it another shot.
Great. We'll
Yes.
see
We'll
you
have
there.
you back.
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Looking
Appreciate
forward to
it.
seeing you.
The Omni Hotel has become a centerpiece of downtown Oklahoma City. Within steps of the finish line, Scissortail Park, and marathon activities, the Omni is a convenient choice for runners.
I'm Paul Kiley, Director of Sales and Marketing at the Omni Oklahoma City Hotel. On behalf of all the associates of Omni Hotels and Resorts, we're honored to support the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon as the host hotel. Genuine hospitality matters to all of us, and as new neighbors in the downtown community, we welcome our guests, the runners, and volunteers. Oklahoma City's narrative continues to evolve, and the Omni is proud to pay homage to the heritage and the modern progress of this resilient city. We'll see you at the finish line.
All right, Carrie, each week we record this podcast down at Griffin Media News 9 Studios. They're so gracious to have us.
Downtown
And
Oklahoma City.
Downtown Oklahoma
Unbelievable.
City. It's fun because, this is a place people run by. And we get the honor today of talking to our good friend, Robin Marsh, who's the morning news anchor. We're so glad to have you here with us again.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Robin is as old as the marathon. Think about that. Maybe
Oh,
older.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
My mind was a little slow. I was like,
can I be that old?
Yes, we all can.
I'll take 25. Are you kidding?
Right.
I know I've been on the air so long. Sometimes I'm thinking, when I first started, they were like, wear more makeup. You need to look older and more credible. Now they're like, wear more makeup. You need to look younger.
Makeup.
Whatever you're doing.
Whatever it is, it's working.
You look really great. Yeah.
Well, we're so grateful for you, and you really have a heart for this story. We're here the day it happened and covered it, and now we are 30 years after the bombing, 25 years of the marathon.
Yeah.
You've been a part of this story from day one. Why is that important to you?
I've just been thinking about that, just kind of reflecting on the last 30 years. I think it's to be a good steward of the story. That's paramount, because if you're a good steward of the story, then the Oklahoma standard is elevated, kindness, service, honor, and it's about the people who lost so much, the people who survived, and really just where our community has come from then. So, that's why to me, I'm always so protective of this story because I was there. There's not a lot of journalists still that work for the same news entity that they did that day. There are a few, and I happen to be one of them.
Why the morning of the race? It's a pretty powerful moment. Why is that such a meaningful time for you?
Well, I tell you, it's a wave of emotions, truthfully, because first of all, you see everyone almost coming by. We're live on the air, and we're getting set up. We're there early,
and everyone comes by and they're so excited. And so you just feel like you are a part of it. And then I think when they do that 168 seconds of silence, it's, it gets you in your gut.
Gets your
And
attention.
It does, and you feel it, and you could hear a pin drop every time when they do that. And so it's being mindful of why we are there. And then when they sound that gun and everyone takes off, and I just love it. Everyone runs by and they're like, "Hey, Robin, hey, Lacey." And so you see colleagues. My son runs the marathon. You see people that feel like they know you, and it's just magical. It really is.
And you've got David Payne and
Lacey Swope,
in
yes,
the lead car, or the, not lead car, but the truck chasing them.
following
Yeah.
the
And
athletes
you're
that are in
putting up with
first
them and
position.
all their antics.
Yes.
And you know how to handle that, but
Girl, it's taken a little practice, but we got it down by now,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
but I know last year the storm came through overnight.
Yeah.
At 2:00, I was talking to
Mm-hmm.
Nathan at News 9, and I'm like, "You guys don't have to do this if you need to pull out." He's like, "David's all in." I mean, I'm like, we'll figure it out. He's like, "Oh no, David is in." And I mean, that was just kind of the commitment that you guys
Mm-hmm.
all have. And you guys have been doing this several years now.
Mm-hmm.
You do an incredible job. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's
And
a marathon. I
yeah,
mean, it's a
it takes
marathon of their
everybody.
own.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's
You
just
know,
as
we're always
tiring.
in front of the camera, but there are so many people behind the scenes. It takes, really, the whole station gets involved. And I like it. It's kind of a service project for the station. You don't look at it like, oh, we're at work or anything like that. You're like, it's the marathon. And it brings our station together because there's people from every part of the building here that will participate, even if it's just cheering on runners that run past the Griffin Media here on Robinson.
You
And
guys
so,
people are cheering them on, and this is the core part of the course. I mean,
and right off the bat,
and right off the bat.
I love it. Yeah. It's so exciting.
You are an artist, and you
Yeah.
did a picture for us, which was, I mean, it took my breath away. Talk about why that was important.
Well, during the pandemic, I just thought I needed an outlet because I was home by myself so much. And so I always have had a creative side in me. And so I started painting, and it's just really blossomed into this thing in my life that's brought me so much joy. And it connects you to people. That's the beauty of art. I love that you can start with nothing, and it kind of has an ugly part, and then and you blink and it turns into something beautiful. And so just to be flat out honest, it's almost going to make me cry. But
It's okay. It won't be the first time.
I know. I'm always so emotional. But I told my husband a few weeks back, I said, I want to do something special. And you know, I do my job, but I just thought I want to do something special. And so I just started looking at some photographs, and I wasn't sure if I would do the Gates of Time. I wasn't sure if I'd do the chairs. And I just found a picture of the museum, and the survivor tree was beautiful, and the reflective pool was it just casted off the building and the tree and the beauty of the sun, and I thought, that's it. And
That's so nice.
it has taken me a little while to do it, and it's at the Framer, but I texted Marianne and said, I did a little something, and she's like, "Oh no, what?" And then I showed her, and I didn't really even know what I was wanting to do with it. And she said, "You better show Carrie." And just kind of when she texted me that, I thought, that's it. Just to give a gift, you know, and no expectations in return, just of what that museum means, what those memorial grounds mean. It was just a little way for me to give back.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time for you to bring it to the
Yes,
staff. But
yeah,
it's a gorgeous picture,
Aw,
and it means a
thank
lot
you.
to us. In this year where we're focused on
Yeah.
Day of Darkness and Years of Light, it radiates the light.
Amen.
And that's a bit of your life. You are about being the light in the community and to your friends, which am the beneficiary of. But you are the light to so many. So talk about that, why that's important.
Well, I think that, you know, I think we all go through hard times in life. No one is immune from trauma, death. You know, I've lost both my parents. Now, I can't even think that I'm sitting here saying I've lost both my mama Josie, you know, she's been gone a couple of years, and my Papa Top, you know, but it's like you have to carry on the spirit of what means so much, and it is the heart. You know, sometimes it's a risk to really care about people because they may hurt you. And, you know, but I've just learned, even in the hurt of caring about people, I would never change it because the joy it brings, the blessings that come from caring and stepping out and doing something maybe that people don't expect. My dad was that way, and he taught that to me. And I think that's kind of where I get it. And
And your mom was a fireball.
my mom was kind of selfish, though.
I
My
never saw
mama
that side of
Josie,
her.
yeah. But it's so. I just say if it's a sin to care about people, then convict me.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you start, it's all about relationships. And Carrie, that's what I love about you. You have fostered so many relationships, not just even in this city, but really around the country and around the world too, Carrie. And you don't like people touting what you do, but to be the first person hired and to be the president and CEO 30 years later after this, and to still have the passion and care and the connections. Our city and community owe you a debt of gratitude, and I say that from
I have a great staff and great team surrounding me,
Amen.
just like
Amen.
you do. And so
Yeah.
we're grateful.
Yeah.
But really, the media is such a part of this story. And from day one, from the very first moments they have been, and you were
Yeah.
there. And you will be at the start line, and then you get to the
I get
finish
to
line.
I boogie on the little go-kart with you. I'm
Yeah.
like, they're like, do you think you can get down there fast? And I'm like, well, I'm riding with Carrie. I definitely will
for
get down
sure.
there.
We'll see, yeah.
And that's the joy of it, is seeing the faces of the runner. I have run the half one time, and I said it was harder than having a baby. I mean, honestly, I swear to you. No, it's like when you have mile 10 on a Saturday and you're like, oh, Lord Jesus, help me here. I mean, it is. You got to be praying. And but to see the joy of
need
the
more than prayer.
accomplishments of people that win the race. I mean,
Unbelievable.
it's unbelievable. But just everyday Oklahomans that have a number on their chest, that someone can track them and that you see the spirit. It's so good.
I got a call this morning from Jerry Faulkner, who won the race several years back, grew up here, and he's like, Carrie, I'm back. I got my plane ticket. I'm going for the W. And I think he's 46, and he's like, I think I can do this. And he lives in New York, part of the Adidas team, and he really, in his mind, thinks he's coming back to win. And he's very likely can, but my point is, it's like what you're talking about. These
Yeah.
people put their lives into this. You're doing it too, Kristen. You put everything you have into that training,
Yeah.
and then you just go out there and run for it on Sunday morning.
I will not be winning anything.
Hey, you never know.
I will be.
But you know
crossing
what?
the finish
Everyone
line.
gets a medal, and I still have mine with my number,
Yep.
and you feel like you're a winner.
And I will still have the joy of crossing the finish line.
Amen.
Yeah,
There you
and-
go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking
Well,
forward
Robin,
to that
thanks. We look forward to
celebration.
race morning with you, and thanks again for that beautiful piece of art that
Oh,
we'll
it's-
hang in
yeah.
our office with great pride.
It is
So
beautiful,
you.
absolutely beautiful. And News 9 just does a great job covering this
Oh
race.
my gosh,
It's
so
so
grateful.
fun to have it on air so people can watch it at home.
Yep.
And, you
and
can
across
get
the
out.
country.
Yeah, very fun. Thanks, Robin.
Thanks. Well, how's your training?
It's going well.
Is it?
It is. You know,
You got through spring break. Did
I
you
got
keep
through
running?
spring break. I ran. I got to go to had the opportunity to go to California, and thankfully, since my husband and son are also running,
Uh-huh.
my son the full, and Eric the half with me, I had some runners with me. So we
All
got
ran?
we got to change our scenery for some runs. Got some beach running in, which was great.
Got some sunshine.
Got some sunshine, and
Although the weather has been pretty nice around here.
the weather's been nice, and
Just a little wind.
Just a little wind, but that's okay. Like I said, you've got to practice in the wind here, and then if it's not a windy morning, it's going to be a pleasant surprise.
That's right.
So I'm feeling good. I'm really excited to watch my son run the full.
That's amazing.
I've got my daughter's run it once before.
For a
and-
college kid to commit to the full is a big
yeah,
deal.
It really
I'm
is.
really-
So I don't know.
David's gonna do it. He's
The,
gonna-
the finish line's going to be fun for the Ferris family this year. It's
Yeah.
a comeback celebration for me after an injury, and
That's
it's just-
awesome.
It's a good time anyway. but
Absolutely.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. Well, that's a wrap for this week's program. Join us every Friday for a new episode. Let us know your questions and tell us your running story at okcmarathon.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. The Memorial Marathon takes place the weekend of April 25th through the 27th. And if you haven't already, sign up today at okcmarathon.com. This is your host, Kristen Fairs. Let's marathon.